What's going on, guys? Coach Malik here, and hope you guys are having a blessed day so far. I hope your week is starting off right. Right now, we're about to close out in our series of moods, and I want to talk about emotion that a lot of us have, but sometimes it's easy to admit, or sometimes it's not easy to admit, and that emotion is guilt. What is guilt? When we think about guilt is basically that feeling inside us that makes us feel ashamed of something we've done, okay? So for instance, let's say you're with your mom, your dad, or your guardian, your grandma, grandpa, whoever it may be, and you lie about something that you know you shouldn't have lied about, and they catch you like, hey, you lied. How do you feel about yourself? And you're like, I know, you feel really bad. That's that guilt feeling right there. Or there's also a thing called fake guilt. Fake guilt is when you do something wrong and you know you should feel wrong about it, but you really don't. And so you kind of have fake guilt and real guilt. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I want to give you guys a story back when I was in middle school and I experienced both. So back in 7th grade, I wasn't really good at math, okay? I struggled in math, and by me struggling in math, I wanted to cheat. Cheating was the only way I felt I could succeed. So I cheated, and when I wasn't getting caught, I had that fake guilt because I knew I should feel wrong about what I was doing, but I was like, I'm not getting caught, so why am I going to care about how I feel in this? I'm not getting caught. It wasn't until the day I got caught from my teacher, and then I really felt bad because she told my parents disappointed in me, and I knew essentially God was disappointed in me. I was like, wow, this isn't cool, okay? And that's kind of what, I want you guys to feel right now. I know right now you're in Zoom learning, so maybe you can't cheat in person, but there's some form of way you can do something like that where guilt can come about, okay? And I want to talk to you guys what Paul says. So Paul, if you guys know who Paul is probably one of the greatest leaders in the Bible in the New Testament, or just overall. He wrote 2/3 New Testament. Before he became Paul, he was Saul, and Saul was someone who killed Christians. Like, his job was he was in charge of persecuting Christians, killing Christians for the fun of it. And he had a complete transformation, like a whole 180-360 when he encountered Jesus Christ, okay? Now, but you would think someone like that who had a past of killing Christians, how could he not have guilt to allow him to not do what God told him to do? I'm glad you asked. Romans 8:1, Paul says this, now, therefore, those who are there is therefore no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, okay? Now, there is no more condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Paul is saying when you come to Christ and you accept his love and his grace, there's no more condemnation in you, okay? So now the bottom line is, guys, guilt does not have to be the boss of you anymore. Guilt is no longer the boss. Because of the freedom that Jesus gives us, guilt is no longer the boss of you. So what does that mean closing out? Basically, when you have these feelings of guilt, be easy on yourself, okay? The application is be easy on yourself. Don't allow that. Remember the grace that Jesus gives you. So give that grace to yourself, okay? Secondly, you want to make sure that you're showing that same grace to others, because if God forgives us, we should forgive others, right? Same thing with this guilt thing. Don't point fingers and not point to yourself, okay? That doesn't make any sense. Thirdly, you want to make sure that guilt can remind you, but don't let it define you, okay? Let guilt remind you, but not define you. It's always good to have that feeling in you when you do something wrong, you shouldn't do it. But don't let it define you, because that's when you can become really depressed and have all these feelings of like sadness and overwhelmingness, okay? And lastly, you want to make sure you make it right, okay? Like you let it remind you, and you make it right by not doing it again, okay? So for instance, like when I was younger, I knew, okay, cheating is wrong. I shouldn't do this. So now I'm going to make sure I don't do it again. Maybe you guys have a problem with lying. Hey, I know lying is wrong. I'm not going to do it again, okay? So bottom line is, guys, don't let guilt define you. Guilt is not the boss of you. Jesus Christ has freed you guys. He gives you guys grace, and make sure you show that same grace to others. I love you guys. Hope you have a blessed week, and can't wait to see you soon.